October 12, 2022. At exactly 2:43 a.m., the motion detection system inside the Grand Meridian Hotel activated. The alert came from camera 6B. A security camera located in the 6th floor hallway, directly outside room 612. For most hotels, a late-night motion alert in a hallway isn't unusual. Guests walk to ice machines. People return late from events. Sometimes staff move between rooms during overnight cleaning. But that night, something about the alert was different. Because according to the hotel's reservation system, room 612 was completely empty. No guest had checked in. No one had accessed the keycard lock. And housekeeping had finished preparing the room hours earlier. Still, the system reported movement outside the door. The Grand Meridian Hotel is a 12-story luxury hotel located in the business district of a large metropolitan city. With more than 300 rooms, the building operates with a complex network of surveillance cameras, hallways, elevators, parking entrances, and service corridors. More than 140 security cameras monitor the property 24 hours a day. Every movement is logged through the hotel's automated monitoring system. Normally, the system only triggers alerts when something unusual happens. That night, camera 6B triggered 3 times in under 5 minutes. The alert first appeared on the monitoring screen inside the hotel's security office. Working the overnight shift was David Carter, a 42-year-old night security supervisor. David had worked hotel security for nearly 9 years. Most of his nights were routine. Noise complaints. Lost keycards. Occasionally escorting intoxicated guests back to their rooms. Rarely anything serious. But the alert from room 612 caught his attention immediately. Because the system displayed something unexpected. Motion detected, hallway outside room 612. David opened the live camera feed. The screen switched to the 6th floor corridor. The hallway was long, quiet, and evenly lit by dim ceiling lights. Doors lined both sides of the corridor. Room numbers, 606, 608, 610. And at the far end of the frame, room 612. For several seconds, the hallway appeared completely empty. No guests. No staff. No movement. Just the silent corridor stretching across the screen. David assumed the sensor had been triggered by something small. Maybe a lighting change. Or the camera adjusting its exposure. But then, something happened. The motion alert triggered again. Camera 6B flickered slightly as the system highlighted the detection area. Right outside room 612. David leaned closer to the monitor. Because this time, he noticed something strange. The door to room 612 moved slightly. Not fully opening. Not closing. Just shifting. As if the handle had been touched from the inside. David immediately checked the reservation system again. Room 612 was still listed as vacant. No guest checked in. No maintenance scheduled. And according to the keycard logs, the door had not been opened since housekeeping left earlier that evening. Which meant one thing. If someone had just touched the door, they were either inside the room, or standing directly outside it. But the camera showed no one in the hallway. David continued watching the screen. The hallway remained still. Silent. Empty. Until suddenly, the motion detection box appeared again. Directly in front of room 612. And this time, the camera captured something that made David pause the footage. Because for a brief moment, it looked like someone had just walked past the door. But when he replayed the frame, the hallway was completely empty. No person. No shadow. Nothing. Just the quiet corridor. And the closed door of room 612. David assumed it had to be a technical glitch. so he logged the alert. But over the next 3 hours, camera 6B would trigger 6 more times. Every alert. From the exact same place. Outside room 612. A hotel room. That no guest had ever entered that night. And by the time morning staff arrived, David had already started reviewing the footage. Because the more he watched the recordings, the more it looked like something impossible was happening in that hallway. Something the cameras could detect, but no one could actually see. The next morning, David Carter reported the unusual camera alerts to the hotel's morning security supervisor. At first, the incident didn't seem serious. Security systems sometimes triggered false alerts. Cameras occasionally misread shadows or lighting changes as movement. But when David showed the recordings from camera 6B, the reaction in the security office changed. Because the motion alerts were clearly focused on one specific location. Directly outside room 612. And yet, in every frame of the footage, the hallway appeared empty. No guest walking past. No housekeeping staff. No visible movement. Still, the system kept detecting motion. Checking the keycard system. The next step in the investigation was reviewing the hotel's electronic keycard logs. Every door in the Grand Meridian Hotel is connected to a digital lock system. Each time a keycard opens a door, the system records the event. Time. Date. Card ID. Even the staff member assigned to the card. When the team checked the logs for room 612, the results were simple. Last recorded entry, 6:18 p.m., housekeeping. After that moment, the system showed no activity. No guest keycards. No master staff keycards. No maintenance access. According to the lock system, the door had not opened all night. The elevator cameras. To understand what was happening in the hallway, David decided to check another set of cameras. The elevators. Every elevator inside the hotel had a small security camera mounted in the ceiling. If someone had gone to the 6th floor during the night, the cameras would have recorded it. David reviewed the footage from 2:30 a.m. to 3:30 a.m. But the elevator recordings showed nothing unusual. Only one elevator ride to the 6th floor during that time period. And it happened at 2:37 a.m. When David paused the footage and zoomed in, the elevator appeared empty. No passengers. No staff. Yet the control panel clearly showed the 6th floor button illuminated. The empty elevator ride. David replayed the footage again. The elevator doors opened on the lobby level. No one entered. But after a few seconds, the door closed. And the elevator began moving upward. The camera inside the elevator continued recording the empty cabin. Floor numbers lit up as the elevator ascended. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then finally, 6. The elevator stopped. The doors opened. And the camera recorded the empty hallway outside. But something strange happened next. Because the motion detection system in the security software activated again. Camera 6B, 6th floor hallway. The corridor recording. David switched to the hallway camera feed. The video showed the same quiet corridor as before. Room numbers along both sides. Soft ceiling lights. And at the far end, room 612. For several seconds nothing happened. Then the motion detection box appeared again. Right outside the door. The camera software highlighted the detection area in red. David leaned closer to the monitor. The system believed something was moving there. But the camera image remained empty. Until suddenly, the door handle of room 612 moved slightly. Just a small shift. Barely noticeable. But it was enough to trigger another alert. Checking the room later that morning, hotel management decided to inspect the room directly. David and a maintenance supervisor went to the 6th floor together. The hallway looked exactly like it had in the footage. Quiet. Well lit. Completely normal. They stood outside room 612 for several seconds. Nothing moved. No sound came from inside the room. The door remained closed. David used a master keycard to unlock the door. The electronic lock beeped. The handle turned. And the door slowly opened. Inside room 612 the room looked untouched. The bed was neatly made. Fresh towels folded in the bathroom. Curtains closed. The air inside the room was still. No signs that anyone had entered during the night. David checked the windows. Locked. The balcony door. Also locked. There was no second entrance. No connecting room door. And no sign of forced entry. According to everything they could see, the room had remained empty. Reviewing the footage again back in the security office, David continued reviewing the camera recordings. He slowed down the hallway footage frame by frame, looking for anything that might explain the motion alerts. At first, nothing stood out. Just the hallway, the door, and the detection box appearing again and again. Then something caught his attention. In one of the frames, the hallway light flickered. Just for a fraction of a second. And during that flicker, a faint shape appeared in front of room 612. Not clearly visible. More like a shadow. Standing directly in front of the door. David replayed the frame several times. Every time the light flickered, the shape appeared again. But only for a moment. The next frame always showed the hallway empty again. No person entering the corridor. No one walking away. Just the same silent hallway. And the closed door of room 612. The pattern. By the afternoon, David noticed something else. All the motion alerts from the hallway camera followed the same pattern. They always happened during a narrow time window. Between 2:40 a.m. and 3:10 a.m. Every single event occurred during that period. Almost as if something was appearing in the hallway at the same time every night. But according to the security cameras, no one was ever actually there. And that's when the security team decided to monitor the cameras closely the following night. Because if the pattern continued, the cameras would record whatever was happening outside room 612 again. And this time, someone would be watching the screen in real time. By the evening of October 13th, the security team at the Grand Meridian Hotel had decided to monitor the 6th floor cameras live. The strange motion alerts outside room 612 had now occurred multiple times. Always during the same time window. Always in the same place. And always without anyone visible in the hallway. David Carter began his night shift earlier than usual. At 1:30 a.m., he sat in the security office reviewing the previous recordings once more. The same pattern appeared again and again. Motion detection. Door movement. Hallway light flicker. Then silence. David adjusted the monitor view so that camera 6B remained visible at all times. He also opened the live feed from the elevator cameras. If someone was reaching the 6th floor, he wanted to see it happen. 2:41 a.m. For more than an hour, nothing unusual happened. Guests returned to their rooms. The elevators moved between floors. The lobby cameras showed the night staff working normally. Then suddenly, a small alert appeared on the screen. Motion detected, camera 6B. David leaned forward immediately. The hallway camera feed filled the screen. The corridor looked exactly as it always did. Quiet. Empty. But the detection box had appeared again. Right outside room 612. David watched carefully. At first, nothing moved. The hallway lights remained steady. The doors stayed closed. But then the elevator camera on another monitor changed. The elevator on the lobby level had just opened. And once again, the cabin appeared completely empty. No guests. No staff. Still, after a few seconds, the elevator doors closed, and the cabin began moving upward. David switched his attention between the screens. The elevator camera showed the cabin rising. Floor lights turning on one by one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then finally, 6. The elevator doors opened. The hallway outside appeared on the camera. And for just a moment, David thought he saw something standing outside the elevator. A tall, narrow silhouette. But the image changed quickly, and the hallway appeared empty again. Back on camera 6B, the motion alert was still active. The detection box continued flashing near room 612. Then something happened that no one in the security office had seen before. The door handle moved. Slowly. The handle turned slightly downward, as if someone on the other side had tried to open it. David froze, because the keycard logs on the system still showed no access. No card had unlocked the door. The lock should not have moved. But on the screen, the handle shifted again. At 2:43 a.m., the hallway lights flickered briefly. The camera image darkened for less than a second. And during that flicker, something appeared clearly in the frame. Standing directly in front of room 612. The shape looked like a person. Tall. Still. Facing the door. The figure remained visible for only 2 frames of video. Then the lights returned to normal. And the hallway was empty again. The lobby cameras showed the night staff working normally. Then suddenly, a small alert appeared on the screen. Motion detected, camera 6B. David leaned forward immediately. The hallway camera feed filled the screen. The corridor looked exactly as it always did. Quiet. Empty. But the detection box had appeared again. Right outside room 612. David watched carefully. At first, nothing moved. The hallway lights remained steady. The door stayed closed. But then the elevator camera on another monitor changed. The elevator on the lobby level had just opened. And once again, the cabin appeared completely empty. No guests. No staff. Still, after a few seconds, the elevator doors closed. And the cabin began moving upward. David switched his attention between the screens. The elevator camera showed the cabin rising. Floor lights turning on one by one. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then finally, 6. The elevator doors opened. The hallway outside appeared on the camera. And for just a moment, David thought he saw something standing outside the elevator. David immediately called the overnight maintenance supervisor. Within minutes, 2 staff members headed toward the 6th floor. While they were on their way, David kept watching the cameras. The motion detection box had disappeared. The corridor looked quiet again. But just before the maintenance team reached the floor, another alert appeared. This time from the elevator camera. The elevator doors were closing again. The cabin was still empty. But the 6th floor button was illuminated. When the maintenance team arrived at the hallway outside room 612, the corridor looked normal. The door was closed. The lights were steady. No one stood in the hallway. David watched